Hey, good evening. Welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines, and really a work in progress on what I'm doing with my upholstery adventures. I'm not a professional by any stretch of the imagination, but I did this little love seat, and that worked out. It worked out adequately. It's not wonderful, but it's okay. I'm just in the process now. We're getting, let me see, let me put that down there, and this is, I sketched out what I wanted for James, and James, sorry, I'm pointing out in all the wrong directions. I'm pointing now at the top. This is just offered up, it's not fixed in any way, and the look that I thought was quite nice. I really quite enjoyed this little trim here that James did when he put the floor tiles in onto that little landing for the staircase. Right, so the staircase is coming down, goes onto that little landing, and then it's edged with that trim. So I told him what I wanted. He managed to find some scraps of the same color of plyboard. Right, we've cut that off. This is what I wanted. What we did with the front was we cut those out in plywood in just eighth, what the Filipinos called quarter inch marine ply, and then I covered it in the material, so it's matching on the material. Unfortunately, I don't like this here. They crease. They have a fine crease that's on the material because it's folded in half. You pay by the meter, but the meter is folded in half. You get a lot more than a meter, but you get this crease, which is unavoidable. And that's what it was. Now, James has done as usual with little wedges and things to fix this. We glued this to the actual love seat itself. A little bit of a gap there, but gosh, I won't worry about that. This has worked out very well, and people that have been in and looked at it have been very happy with that. Once that's stained, of course, this is the half round that we're going to put on there, and that will make it look pretty nice, pretty. We'll make it look like that there. Sorry if I'm jerking you around on the camera. But what I wanted to show you was what I'm doing here and what I've done already. I went out and bought the material, 9 yards, to recover the couch. I wanted it very slightly, I wanted it a lot lighter in colour, but the way that it's turned out, this is the original colour, and as you can see, that's the colour that it's going to be. Not a whole ton of difference in the shade, but this is a nicer, it's very slightly tight pattern to it, which is not going to invade the senses. That's a piece, that's one of the cushions that I've already done, and this has been done with glue. There's my faithful buddy, the hot glue gun, which I've used on so many different projects. It's a wonderful tool. Everybody should have one. Now, this obviously comes up here, but it normally is sitting on the top of a cushion. That's the back cushion there, pretty long, 7 feet long, so the only place that I could work on that was on the floor. Fortunately, the floor, as you may know, has been very recently done in this beautiful wood tile. So it's perfectly, immaculately clean, and it's not going to stain my material. So what do? Well, let's give you a bum's rush through what we do. So we're going to tighten that up there. Here comes over. So we pull the material over the edge like this, and then peel it back, and we put the hot glue under here. Let me see if I can get the torque together with the camera work. So there we do it. Put a line of hot glue, and then we pull this over like that. And I have a piece of wood there which I use to flatten the material down onto and squeeze it flat onto the hot glue, and that gives a pretty good connection. But just to be doubly sure, what I'll do after the piece is all finished is I'll go back, I'll peel this back, and I'll put another seam of glue along here. Right, so it's glued, a nice seam of hot glue pressed into the fabric and into the piece, and I'll do the same again under here, and that will be flat and strong. So it will stand. Actually, I'll do that as soon as I've finished putting this piece intact here, so that when I pull through, when I pull this piece here, when I pull it through there, it's not going to dislodge the other side. So that's the skill, if there is any. It's not a very highly skilled job. But another seam of glue along like this, pull this over, flatten it down, and away we go. So that's the work in progress, and a little heads up on how I am doing it. No doubt, as I always say, there's an expert out there who is cringing at the way that I do what I do. But that's the cross I bear, I think. That's it. Now once I've done that, I'm going to go on, spread the remaining large piece of material, and I'm going to do this cushion. This is the big cushion, right? We're looking at the underneath right now, but I'll put that on. I'll lay the material on the floor, right? Let's put it down so you can get the good idea. I'll lay the material on the floor as flat as I can get it, and then I'll put this big cushion on top of it, right? And once that's down, I will put enough of an overhang here. I think I'm not overly sure that there is enough to go on here, but we will soon see, and possibly I'll have to make do with just a 1 inch or 1.5 inches overlap, whereas here I've been able to do it very generously. If you look at it, it's like 4 to 5 inches overlap, and I prefer to be able to do that. It's easier to put the glue on and then pull the the material onto that, but we'll see what happens. And I'm sure with my stick and enduring a few burns, and believe me, that hot glue is hot. Take my word for it, I've got the scars to prove it. Okay, there we are. I don't know whether I videoed the finished upholstered dining nook. There it is there, look. All that's required now that I see where we are on it, I need to go back and to paint this top green so that it's not jutting out, sticking out. So that's our little dining nook, and it's working perfectly. So that's my little report there. And this, and I did a few still pics on Facebook so you could look at it in a different way. And here we are for right now. Tomorrow we'll have this done, and that will be yet another job which will hopefully propel us into returning home. It's not going to happen tomorrow. I very much doubt it, but who knows. More impossible things have happened than that, so let's just say we're hoping. But we don't want to come in until it's finished. That's one thing that we are agreed on. So I'm going to look at what we can do. That's the thing. So there we are there, looking through the window. See, lots of little things left to do, and we ain't moving back in until those lots of little things are done. Got to put the TV up there in that little spot. It's a big TV for my money. Too big a TV, but then it's not just down to me. Personally, I actually wouldn't have a TV. That would be my choice. But we're looking good on the other stuff, and I'm very happy with the way that it's going. Still have a picture that's under the breakfast bar. That picture is still going up here. You're going to say, what picture? It just looks like an empty frame. And so it is, because I want this to be a memorabilia thing from happy times, of which we have so many. We are blessed. So thanks for looking in. This is the work ahead, which I feel sure I'll have this one done in, let me see, half an hour. It's even possible that I might get the base done before dinner, because usually we eat very late. So there we are. Thanks for your interest. Bye for now.